Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is part 6 of building our UI front end to the Scalable Ocean application. We've already gone through the backend. We are now building the front end from scratch. So this is part 6. If you want to know how we got this far, then you can go back to the other videos and check how we got this far. So we will continue building our application, the front end to our application, and stay tuned. Add the open API dependency right here, and I'm gonna install it again. Okay, so we have now got the open API dependency. So this in this backend we have a dependency for open API, which give us like a copy of all your APIs so you can use it. Yeah, so in here we have it, and the MV API. So we got open API dependency. I've spoken about this already. So we're going through the card service. So I think the easiest way would be just look at it here. So in this card service, our port is 8285. That's the port for the card. So if we go into our now we have the card back end running. So we say localhost localhost 8285. Okay, so this is all the backend, the API that we need. All we have to do is copy this. So this browser, which is Firefox, makes it easier, yeah, to copy this. So I guess if you click on copy, fix it all, and click on copy, then you copy all of it, right? So what we can do right now is follow the same way that we did it in the other one, and we are going to create a folder to contain all the APIs for the open API, and then I'm gonna bring in a script which we use to run this thing, and then what it will do, it will incorporate all these API here if we can provide it a file, that is. So we are going to create the folder, and I'm just looking for where we're gonna put it. Okay, so we're going to create a folder called open. I'm gonna create it inside the apps as well. Yeah, we're going to create it inside the app because it's easier. Now if we close this, we have open API outside the app. So open API should be inside this one. So create it and say open API. So we create that folder, and then I'm going to bring in, so once you've copied this and highlighted it, you want to create a file. And for me, I've created a JSON file. So I'm just gonna create this JSON file as card. So this is for the card, open API.json, and this card open API.json is the one that's gonna contain the copy that we've copied here, right? This is nicer. You can see the raw data, you can see the JSON file. I don't know if that copy actually works, or if I should copy it from the other end. There is, I think see if it will paste. Yes, override that one. Okay, so this is the full API that you see from the front end, and we are going to use this to do the rest of the stuff. So this makes it easier. You don't need to write everything all over again and stuff like that. And then what's going to happen is when I execute this script, which I'm going to show you in a minute, there is a script that I have already written, and I use this script to run and generate all the services that we need. I'm going over this because I think, although I've done videos, but I haven't had any one tell me whatever. But if I don't do this, you probably won't understand. Or if you want to create your own API, you probably wouldn't understand if I just talk about the code and not explain what it is and why we need it. So after this one, I'm gonna put this one here. And what is it doing? So this is the script name that we can run. If we were to run it, we will say npm on the command line. We will say npm run API dash GNE dash CAR. Okay, so we are making a call to this ng open API generate, right? And we giving it the input file. The input file, we say that go into this src folder and look for this folder, yeah, open API / this particular file, this one. And then the output, we want it inside the src app services. So go into the src, under the app, under services, create this services for us and put it inside cart. Okay, so let's run it. I'm gonna run it now. So it should generate it, and now as you can see here, we got all the details that we need in our services. Okay, the only thing I'm going to change here is this one, right? And we want to point this out to our gateway, and our gateway is 822. Okay, that's the one that I will change. I think the rest should be fine. Open API creates all the services. It creates anything you need, the interfaces for each of the controllers, all the functions method in the controller from the backend. So we've got get all cards, add card to items. All these are all written for us, and then we can use the parameter to actually create our thing. So right now what we need in here is calling out to this particular parameter, right? So we're going to import it. So it's going to import it from that controller service, get fn controller get cart items, and the get cart items is right there. Is this one, sorry. So that's the bit that we want to add in them. That's what we are calling it for, and it makes it so easy. You don't need to do it by yourself. I mean, you don't need to write everything from scratch, if you understand what I mean. All right, so back in here, this services is the controller, yeah, the card controller service, which is created here. This card control service, inside services, you know, the API that we just generated is for our card. We have the controller service, and this contains all the methods that we've created within our cart controller for the backend. So it contains everything for the backend. So everything in here that we specify is contained in there. Okay, everything is written here. And then the param, for example, this one, get cart items param. If we go here, we see the interface for the param and stuff like that, and then all the details that we need for that particular param. So we're gonna bring that one into the navbar. We're gonna inject it just the same way that we've injected it. It's easier. Is the latest way of writing it, right? So that one has disappeared. These cart items, these are methods, and let's bring those ones in. We need all these for total. So this will keep all the total of our cart. So let me explain that. Bring this up. When we want to read our cart, you see all this information. This is what we are now doing. It is an array. So this one is an array that stores all the individual items the user has added to the cart. So each item contains properties like the product ID, the product price, quantity, and so forth, cart item ID, and all that stuff. That all those is an array that will be stored in that particular I'll say object, right? The stop total is this calculates the total price of all the items in the cart before taxes or shipping. When the item is loaded, we loop through all the items and calculate the price times quantity for each, and then add them together to get the subtotal. Okay. The count, this is the subtotal I just mentioned. The cart item count. This keeps track of how many items the user currently has in the cart. Whenever you see how we show this bin there. Okay, so that's why we need to have these here. So as you can see how we are calculating the sub, we take a sum of this and then we times the item, all the items, the price by the quantity. Then we get the subtotal, as we've already seen, and then we return an error if things doesn't work quite right. Otherwise we return this dot load, and this dot load equals to false. Okay, I'm going to end the video right here because I am running out of time and it will probably go overboard the next one, and I've got up to where I need to get up to, and then we will continue this video on the next video. I just want to point out that if you are seeing two different IDEs, VS Code and Equa, is because Equa have now stepped down on supporting Equa, and you can't download it and install it. You cannot activate it, whether it's personal use or work. I think work related you could. So if you purchase it. However, I haven't looked at it, look into it myself. I just formatted my laptop and I'm setting things up properly. I just discovered I could install it. Yeah, so if you want to, then that's why you are seeing double. You are seeing both VS Code and Equa, because I recorded the videos before, and at this point I am editing the video. Okay, another thing that I would also point out is that I've got more videos on Keycloak and how I set up Keycloak for both the backend and front end, because I had to set Keycloak up again and I actually installed new Keycloak. So there are videos coming up after a couple of these videos. Once I've got these videos sorted, that video will follow. And that video, the volume is a bit low because I did not realize that my volume was low. So if you are going to be watching the video, I'll remind you in those videos to put your volume up because that's the only way you will hear what I'm doing. Otherwise you will just see the action and stuff like that I'm doing on the screen. So I'll be talking about Keycloak more again, how I set it up and set up everything for the front end. I think after maybe 3 videos of this, you will see that one. Okay, see you then on the next video.